The year is 2042. Marcus Webb wakes up at 6:17 in the morning to the sound of a notification he's never heard before. Not his alarm. Not a text message. Something different. Something official. His phone screen reads, Federal Resource Allocation Update. Your household has been reassigned to District Tier 3. Healthcare access adjusted. Mobility credits reduced by 40%. Effective immediately. He didn't vote for this. No one did. No senator debated it on the floor. No president signed it into law. No committee reviewed it over months of public comment periods. The decision was made overnight, by a system called ARIA, the Autonomous Resource Intelligence Administrator, installed by the federal government in 2039 as a temporary efficiency measure. ARIA analyzed 847 million data points about Marcus, his neighborhood, his spending patterns, his health records, and his carbon footprint. And in 0.003 seconds, it decided that his life needed to change. Outside his window, the streets are filling with people. Millions of them. Not just in his city. Across the entire country. And here is the question that will haunt everything that follows. If the machine was technically right, does that mean it was just? Here's something most people don't want to admit. AI isn't coming for government. It's already there. Right now, in the United States, artificial intelligence is quietly woven into the fabric of how this country runs. The IRS uses machine learning models to flag suspicious tax returns, scanning millions of filings for patterns that no human auditor could ever catch. The Department of Defense uses AR wargaming systems to simulate conflict scenarios, predict enemy behavior, and optimize resource deployment. The Social Security Administration uses predictive algorithms to process disability claims. Immigration courts use risk assessment software to help decide who gets bail and who stays locked up. In cities like Chicago and Los Angeles, predictive policing tools analyze crime data to tell officers where to patrol before anything has even happened. In New York, AI systems monitor subway cameras in real time. In Arizona, border surveillance drones operate on autonomous flight paths guided by machine intelligence. This isn't science fiction. This is Tuesday. The World Economic Forum estimated that over 60% of public services in developed nations now rely on some form of AI-assisted decision-making. And that number is growing every single year. So when people ask, what if AI controlled the government? The honest answer is, it kind of already does. Just not all of it. Not yet. And that raises a question that feels almost dangerous to ask, what would happen if we let it do the rest? Let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. Because the case for AI governance is actually compelling. Disturbingly compelling. Think about what government is supposed to do: allocate resources efficiently. Make decisions based on data. Serve the public good without personal interest. Respond quickly to crises. Eliminate waste. Reduce corruption. Now think about what human politicians actually do. The average American Congress has a single-digit approval rating. A Princeton study found that public opinion has essentially zero effect on U.S. policy outcomes when it conflicts with the interests of economic elites. Government programs lose hundreds of billions of dollars every year to fraud and administrative inefficiency. A highway that should take 2 years to build takes 12. A pandemic response that should be coordinated becomes a political battleground. Now imagine a system that doesn't take bribes. That doesn't have a re-election campaign to protect. That doesn't get tired, angry, or ideological. That processes every single relevant variable before making a decision, in milliseconds. McKinsey Global Institute projected that AI-optimized public resource allocation could save governments worldwide up to $4 trillion annually. $4 trillion. That's hospitals built. That's schools funded. That's bridges that don't collapse. Estonia, a small country that fully digitized its government services over the past 2 decades, now completes a tax return in under 3 minutes. Citizens vote online securely. Government bureaucracy that once took months now takes hours. For a moment, it sounds almost utopian, almost like the system Marcus Webb was living under, before that notification hit his phone. So what went wrong? The most dangerous sentence in the history of technology is this one: we'll figure out the details later. Because here's the thing about AI governance that nobody in a boardroom wants to say out loud. An AI system is only as neutral as the people who built it. And the people who build these systems are not neutral. They never have been. When a predictive policing algorithm is trained on decades of biased arrest data, it doesn't see the bias. It sees a pattern. And it follows the pattern. A ProPublica investigation found that one widely used criminal sentencing AI was twice as likely to flag black defendants as future criminals compared to white defendants. The machine wasn't racist in the way a human might be racist. But the outcome was exactly the same. Now scale that up. To a national government. To every aspect of daily life. Who writes the rules ARIA operates by? Who feeds it data? Who decides what efficiency means? What the public good means? Because those aren't neutral mathematical concepts. Those are political choices dressed up in the language of objectivity. And then there's the question of ownership. The most powerful AI systems on Earth are not built by governments. They're built by private companies. By corporations with shareholders and profit motives and boards of directors who answer to no electorate. When a government outsources its intelligence infrastructure to a private AI company, it isn't just automating bureaucracy. It is handing the keys of democracy to a CEO. History has a word for what happens when a small group of people gains total control over the information systems that govern an entire population. It doesn't end well. And that's before we even get to the question of what happens when the AI is wrong. A human politician makes a bad decision, you can vote them out, protest, sue, appeal. What's the appeals process for an algorithm? Who do you call? Where do you march? When the machine decides your fate, and the machine has no face, what does resistance even look like? Step back inside Marcus Webb's America. The year is 2042. ARIA has been running federal operations for 3 years. Every morning, Marcus's coffee maker turns on at a time ARIA calculated maximizes his productivity. His commute route is assigned the night before, not chosen, because ARIA determined that personal route choice creates 12% more traffic inefficiency across the metro area. His health insurance tier changes monthly based on his biometric data, tracked by sensors in his home, his car, and his workplace. When he smokes a cigarette, which ARIA discourages with a financial penalty applied directly to his account, his health score drops 0.4 points. The courts in this America run on something called the Sentencing Optimization Protocol. When Marcus's neighbor is arrested for a minor drug offense, a judge still sits at the bench. But above the bench, on a screen facing the courtroom, ARIA's recommendation glows in quiet blue text. 91% of judges follow it. The ones who don't are flagged for review. Taxes are no longer filed. ARIA already knows everything about your income, your assets, your transactions. The number is simply deducted. Efficient. Accurate. No appeal window. Social services are allocated by need score, a composite of hundreds of variables updated in real time. Marcus's elderly mother scores a 6.2 out of 10. The threshold for in-home care assistance is 6.5. She misses by 0.3 points. And everywhere, on street corners, in lobbies, embedded in the lenses of every city-issued transit card, the sensors watch. Not to punish. At least not always. Just to know. To update the model. To improve the next decision. Efficient. By almost every measurable metric, yes. And yet Marcus stands in the street with 8 million other Americans, holding a sign that reads 3 words, "We are not data." Which brings us to the question that may be the most important one humanity has ever had to answer. What is government actually for? If you believe government exists to maximize efficiency, to produce the best measurable outcomes for the most people at the lowest cost, then a sufficiently advanced AI doesn't just do government better. It makes human governance obsolete. But if you believe government exists to express something about what it means to be human, the messy, irrational, deeply emotional need to have a say in your own fate, to participate in decisions that affect your life, to be seen not as a data point but as a person, then no optimization algorithm, however brilliant, can ever replace it. The tension between freedom and efficiency is not a new one. Authoritarian governments throughout history have justified terrible things in the name of order, stability, and the greater good. What's different about AI is that it removes the human villain from the story. There's no dictator to overthrow. No corrupt official to expose. Just a system, running as designed, doing exactly what it was built to do. And maybe that's the most frightening scenario of all. Not the AI that goes rogue. Not the system that turns on its creators. But the system that works perfectly, and still destroys something essential about what it means to be free. Come back to the present. Not 2042. Now. Because here's what's true today, in the world as it actually exists, the decisions being made in government offices and tech campuses right now, in this decade, will determine what Marcus Webb's world looks like. The algorithms being built today will be the infrastructure of governance tomorrow. We are not watching this story from the outside. We are inside it. At the very beginning, the question of whether AI should govern isn't a philosophical puzzle for future generations to solve. It is a design choice being made right now. In the architecture of systems most people never see. In procurement contracts most citizens never read. In data agreements signed away in terms of service nobody checks. The future doesn't announce itself. It arrives one efficiency upgrade at a time. If an AI could run your country better than any politician ever could, would you give it power? Or would you never trust a machine with democracy? Leave your answer in the comments below. And if you're fascinated by the future humanity is building right now, subscribe to the Intelligence Age. Because the future won't wait for us to understand it.